Hey everyone. So for this video, since I started talking about ISO 9001 2015 and the quality system that uh, many companies create, designed around that system that is all across the world. Um, Previous video I kind of went through clause 1 through 3, which is very short and standard. There's not a whole lot in there. Normally, the quality system that is designed starts with clause 4, which is context of the organization. There's a number of subclauses underneath that, but the one subclause that I'll do for this video is 4.1. So essentially in there it says that we need to look at external and internal issues, right? So what's an external and internal issue? And again, it depends on the size of your company. Small companies don't have to go crazy with it, but the larger companies, especially the national companies, the ones that are in multiple countries, the larger ones need to really break that down because there's a lot more that impacts them. So external can be political, legal. We have a lot of regulations that pertain to companies in various countries. So those are the different elements that you would look at as an external. All right. So what are those? What is your list of what impacts you as a company, as a program or a project when it relates to something external? Internal could be how the organization is structured. So your organizational structure, roles, responsibilities. What's your policy, your goals, your objectives as a company, program, or project that you're shooting for. What are the different systems that you may be using that's internal? What governs you as a company? You can even look at culture as something as internal. A lot of companies utilize employees from all over the world, and that's part of the culture that will impact a company, program, or project as well, because you have so many individuals, which I've been a part of companies like that as well. So those are a couple things to look at: external and internal issues for a company. Hey everyone, so I'm going to continue to talk about ISO 9001 2015. The next clause to discuss is 4.2, and that is the interested parties you may have. What's the needs and expectations from them? They could be your customer, your client, the government, wherever you may be, contractors, subcontractors, anyone who's interested in what you are doing for them is an interested party. So normally in a quality system, you would outline all those individuals so that you as a company, program, project are aware of that. Because the next step is on, further into ISO is how you work with them, communicate with them. You document, what you do for them or with them in some cases. So it's just important that you outline anyone who's interested as a company, program, or project. All right, so it's relatively simple. Just think who will impact you, positive or negative. That doesn't even matter. Just think of anyone. You could even include employees in that as well, because employees are an interested party in the company. We play a part in our company, so we're also an interested party as an employee. So as a company, they need to be aware of that. All right. So continuing the discussion on ISO 9001 2015. The next clause I'm going to talk about is 4.3, which is determining the scope of your quality system, which I have spoken about in other videos about. Every company is different. They all have different requirements, so they have to look at how they're going to handle their quality system individually. So a quality control plan or a quality manual may look different in different companies. So you have to look at what you actually need in a quality system. Who do you need it for? So it has to capture any of your customer client requirements, any internal requirements, which I talked about in a previous video about external or internal issues. What kind of documents are you going to need? Now, going through ISO, not every single clause is needed for every company. If you were to be audited by a third party to get certified in ISO, whatever standard it may be, they may ask you why you do not need to follow a certain clause. But not everyone's going to have to incorporate every single clause in ISO within their quality system. But that has to be explained in the quality plan or manual. So the scope just depends on your company, your program, your project, whatever it may be, on what you need to be successful for your customer, for your client, and for yourself. Okay, so you have to look at all aspects of it, from outside to inside. What do I need to be successful? And again, the mom and pop shops, stores, small ones may not even need anything relevant to this, but even small restaurants have to have quality in place because of so many stringent requirements for food temperatures. But the bigger company you are, the more you may need in a quality system to ensure that you're meeting all different requirements. All right. So more to follow on that, because a little bit of what we already talked about in previous videos tie into this, and a lot more future videos are also going to tie into this particular clause 4.3. Okay. All right, so for this video, we're going to finish out clause 4 of ISO 9001 2015, and that's clause 4.4. It's quality management system and processes. So as I've been talking in other videos, this whole thing is about putting together a quality system for a business to be successful for their customer and or client. So clause 4.4, when it talks about quality management system and processes, is basically for a business to define what they need to be successful. What are the main processes, documents, whatever you may want to call them, work instructions, whatever, that pertains to you that is going to be needed to ensure that you are successful for the requirements that you have for, or I should say from your customer and client, also to include anything internal. Who's going to be responsible? What are the different roles? And also this pertains to ensuring anything external is captured, and that's generally external, meaning the customer and client requirements, also any other government regulatory requirements that will affect you, plus anything internal. So again, our quality management system that we design for our business has to capture everything, whether it's external or internal, so that we are successful to both our client customer requirements and our own that we design. And again, our quality management system will be different for everyone. So a lot of these elements are going to continue to be touched on throughout the different clauses in ISO. The next one coming up, clause 5, talks a little bit about leadership, the different elements in there. So again, the entire quality management system that is designed for your needs and requirements to be successful for your client, your customer, and your internal goals as a company, as a program, as a project, whatever it may be. All right. So in a nutshell, that is clause 4.4 of ISO 9001:2015, and a lot of different elements that I'm going to be talking about in further videos are tied to this clause, talking about leadership, roles, responsibilities, documents. So more to follow.